Guys, welcome to my newest update, and instead of doing normal Infamous gameplay, I'm doing something a little different called Spec Ops: The Line. As you saw in my previous video, I made some awareness to it, and now I'm playing this, and I will cover as much as I need to. But first, I'm going to show you a little sneak peek of how to do this. So this game looks pretty kick-butt awesome. And finally, the pistols do some damage in this game. I was hoping it would. So, the first thing I want to cover in Infamous is something that I've been meaning to cover. I want to improve the parkour system, and this is how. When you run near an edge, you should be able to like have the option, instead of jumping off of the ledge, to keep running, and then he'll jump, and then you can see a little aimer that should pop up. Now this is optional. And you can aim where you want him to go, and then he can use his static thrusters to thrust upwards and then get himself to it. I got this idea from the awesome Spider-Man game with Red Rush, where you can quickly swap and change where you're going, so he can make fast slow-mo decisions, and sometimes he'll be regular speed, and he'll just be running around and doing lots of cool parkour, and that would be pretty cool if I could see that, where you run near the edge and then you like get to jump and stuff near the before the edge comes, and then you get to make quick decisions on where you want to land, and you can get to places faster with the parkour. I don't know if this was a good idea. Target the enemy, then release. Oh, I get it. Okay, so, let's pause this for a second so I can discuss some things. The parkour, this isn't optional. Tell me if you like it. I wanted to make him do some pretty awesome stuff, and I want the thrusters to get a little bit of a boost, more than you do in previous games, where if he jumps near a ledge, like he can go up here. Let me just do this really quick. Like you're running near an edge, and then you can jump up, and then prepare yourself for the impact, and then grab onto the ledge. Something like that. I kind of thought that would be a good idea, because you can make quick decisions on where you want to land, who you want to get, and then you can like stealthily grab onto the side of a building, look at the guys, and when you take out your lightning or you use your arm, you have the ability to stealth take them down, where like you shoot one guy, you shoot two guys, and the power should be, he shoots mini lightning bolts that put a lock on them, and they don't know it. And then the third guy, he can like shoot that with a machine gun or something like that, and then he can take out the other two guys, and they'll go looking towards the edge, and then you'll take them both out at once, or something really cool like that, where you can put markings on them, and he'll stealth take them out both at the same time or separately, and then you can fight the last guy off. And you can pick up other enemies off, which would give tactical advantages in missions instead of running in there and battling full force. And then you can also choose to battle full force, because I know a lot of people like that, so putting both stealth and battling just all out to see if you can survive would be a great idea. Secondly, a person commented on one of my videos saying that it would be a good idea. He likes my idea about putting the multi in, but he said you should be able to choose your karma. So this is how I want it to work, and I don't know what necessarily if this is a good idea, but I think, well, because some people like evil and some people like good, but it seems like everyone likes evil better because their powers are awesomer and stuff. So everyone in the game should, whichever game you start out off as first, should be your karmic choice in multi, and you always play as that during multi. Like, if you choose good for the first story, and you play all the way through the story and you go to multiplayer, you'll stay on good until you make another account, and then you choose evil, then you can play as only evil multi. And I like that idea. Hold on. Megan, get out. I'm filming. Sorry about that. So, I also don't think that's necessarily a good idea, but then again, it would explain how each karma goes. And the characters should be totally at random, and we should be introducing a bunch of new conduitic powers and other stuff like that. What else do I want to cover? Oh, I think we should have improved, like, if you play whatchamacallit with, or Transformers Fall of Cybertron, when you change your arm, you can shoot people on either side and still remain under cover completely. We should put that in the game as well, so that you can really use the obstacles to your advantage while shooting at people, so that you can get to the offensive faster. Or if you're low on health, your character, like I said before, the stealth idea could apply to finding cover quickly, where you like hold R2 or you hold down L3 or something like that, and he sends out a shockwave, and obstacles that are that he can hide behind, you press X then, and it happens in super slow-mo, and then he'll like do a bunch of random moves and then get behind that object and heal himself and stay there. So I thought that would be a good idea. And also shooting around, we need to really make the obstacles useful. And the obstacles are a good idea for in-game, because I find myself, I don't have very much cover, and I always end up getting killed, and I don't know where people are shooting at, and it doesn't give me long enough to recuperate where they're shooting from, and it just gets all screwed up. So I want better abilities, using your obstacles to your advantage. The parkour should remain generally the same. All of his moves for scaling buildings in the previous game should be the moves now. And I also think that he should go a little faster when using jets. So maybe he should get a boost like where he starts off flying and then he loses it and starts doing the turbo thing where he's just floating and then he lands, and then he can start off flying again when his energy gets recuperated. And then you generally lose it over time and you end up having to float. So that way you can get really across the map faster than just walking. That would be a pretty cool power, but it'll be limited. That's why I think it'd be a good idea for it to be limited and not have like just unlimited amounts of something. Or whenever you like download energy, I call it download. Whenever you get energy from something, like you run up to a lamppost, you suck it up, or you suck the energy out of it, and then you get the boost where you start off flying, and then you eventually lose it over time, but you only get to use it once every time you download the electricity or whatnot. This game looks pretty awesome. I think I might get it. If you liked any of the ideas that I've covered so far, hopefully this update does suffice to your wants and needs. You can improve any of the ideas that I did here. I may have a couple of awesome powers in my next update on what we should use for multiplayer classes. I want to base these classes off Transformers or Call of Duty or anything where you have a preset ability of different powers, generally the same thing off of a certain class. Like Scout would have entirely stealth-based powers. Destroyer would have like the ability of telekinesis or whatnot, and Leader would have its own ability to make spikers or whatever and do other things like summon little conduitic animals or something like that. And we should have the Warrior have just all light and heavy based weapons. I think we should have classes so that way it's a little more organized, and I will come up with powers next time I do an update for it. So have fun, guys, and see you soon.